According to the World Travel and Tourism Council, travel and tourism is forecast to contribute $9.5 trillion to the global economy and support 320 million jobs in 2023. Today, we are welcoming back sustainable travel and human connection expert who has traveled to 116 countries. She is the creator of the award-winning TV series, Oh, the People You Meet. Michaela Guzy, welcome to the Morning Blend. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back. And I'm in town for the annual Virtuoso Travel Week. And that is where all the top hotels, destinations, tour operators, sellers of travel, we all come together and talk about what's trending in travel.
Yes.
And one of those things that we're talking about is regenerative travel. And that's truly where you want to leave a place better than when you found it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into that, because regenerative is a word we were just talking about, even like in the farming world, right? So what does it mean to do regenerative vacationing?
Yes, it is certainly a trend right now. And what it means, and put very simply, is that you as a travel company, so imagine the hotels that I'm meeting with or the tour operators, it's great for them to be sustainable, but it's a two-way street. So as a traveler, you need to be responsible. And so the people you meet, we're kind of the conduits. We're the media, we're the journalists, and we're connecting them to the sustainable travel companies that they ought to use when they travel, but also giving them best practices when they're there.
Right.
And so what we hope is that the companies are leading us to projects and initiatives that are supporting local community, that are protecting the wildlife, that are protecting the environment. And two safari companies that I really like that I just met with at Virtuoso are Singita, who we feature in our South Africa episode, and Wilderness Safaris, who we feature in our Rwanda episode. But what's awesome is they're technically competitors, but working together cross borders to really make Africa as sustainable as possible and protect that delicate ecosystem. And I had the honor to interview my she hero for our award-winning series on Sierra Leone, the leading conservationist, Dr. Jane Goodall. And she described, I know, it was it was so amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, no, pretty cool.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Life moment, But she describes sustainability as a three-legged stool, and she said you can protect the environment, you can protect the wildlife, but if the local people don't feel the positive impact of inbound tourism dollars, the stool will never stand on its own. So you want to leave those destinations and the people you meet better than when you found them.
That is so true. And I have to tell you that I think that concept is really powerful, because a lot of essentially locals of these different areas tend to have an issue sometimes with tourism, in that not respecting the land, respecting the space. So how can people know which companies are doing that? How do you look for something like that when you're traveling?
Totally. Well, so I have a few examples for you. There's a ton of hotel companies that we actually worked with in filming our show, Sleeping Around Safely, in Italy. And one is called The Place in Florence. One was the Mandarin Oriental in Milano. And the other was Londra Palace in Venice. And what they did is these luxury hotels was to go in and preserve traditional crafts. So if you think of those wonderful Italian crafts like cashmere, umbrella making, glass blowing, and they took us out to meet these local makers, and they're supporting them by helping empower younger generations to be able to make a sustainable living off of creating these traditional, very fabulous Italian crafts. So fully supportive of those projects. And another great example of that is Australia, and they're working with both I want to get it right and be respectful to the Aboriginal people and the Torres Islanders people, and really supporting these First Nations and their craft, and making sure that when travelers are coming, they're coming in a sustainable way, that they're creating jobs for local people, but that it's also not putting them on show. And so I think it's been a really powerful and wonderful thing to see these local people truly in their environments, and that's really what we try to do with the episodes that we create.
Wonderful, Michaela. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I truly wish we had a lot more time to talk about everything regarding this topic. For more information about all of Michaela's series, head to ohthepeopleYoumeet.com.